complaining paid off. They did a much better job this time. They got us unloaded, or they got me unloaded by 9:20 a.m. and that included time to, you know, take 2 tarps off, roll 2 tarps up. Guy even came out. He said he wanted to sign my paperwork before they got finished unloading the trailer because he didn't want us to get held up again like last time. So truck drivers should complain more. And they added $1 per mile to the load compared to last time. So more money and faster unloading. I mean, as long as you're respectful and you're not like personally attacking people or whatever, as long as what you're saying is reasonable and as long as it's always related to it's costing you time and money, and if you just focus on that, then a lot of times it'll pay off. I mean, with people that are interested in doing business and getting things done. Yeah, I was pretty hard on them last time, but if I'm going to complain about the bad stuff, then I need to give them credit on the good stuff, and they did a real good job this time. Everybody was more organized, the check-in process went smoother. So, and they just changed up the address on me. We're supposed to be going to Dubuque, Iowa. Now we're going to Savannah, Illinois. So, they're pretty close to each other. It looks like they're only about 50 or 60 miles apart on the map. Made it up to the Loves in, I think it's called Sauget, Illinois. One on the 255. Some pretty surprising and good news a couple days ago. I think I mentioned in another video one time that I was suing CFI because they hired a driver. He didn't hardly speak any.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
He couldn't really speak any English. I mean, he could communicate, but it was very difficult to understand him. Well, I don't know. I guess they didn't train him, and he was driving their truck just like it was a Honda Civic, and he just came around the corner of my trailer. Well, and then his trailer got stuck on my trailer. Well, that was back in 2021. I'd almost forgotten about it. But I had to use 2 different groups of attorneys. I made a video on it, on the lawsuit itself, and on the other channel, but basically, one of the attorneys called me and said, "Hey, CFI just got a judgment against him for," I think she said it was around $44,000. Like, really? Wow, wasn't expecting that. And then she told me, and they've offered to pay $10,000. It's like, what?
Turn right, then take the first left onto Mouset Lane.
How does that even work? The court said they owe $44,000 and they only want to pay $10,000. I mean, it was a nightmare dealing with those people. Best decision I ever made was to just stay out of it and let the attorneys do their thing.
Turn left onto Mouset Lane.
But so yeah, that's.
At the next light, turn right.
That's what's going on right now. Is she said that's not acceptable. She's gonna counter. I mean, she's not trying to get the full amount because she just wants it to be over. What are you doing, driver? Driver. You trying to get turned around, driver? You can pull down that street there and turn around. What is this guy doing? We're going like 5 miles an hour.
At the light, turn right to merge onto I-255 North.
Is he still asleep? Is he looking at his phone? Is he drunk? I mean, it's Sunday morning. Guess he could have had a late night. Alright, let's see. This is not a confident turn he's making here. He's still very uncertain. I feel like that, oh, it's a red truck. That could be a CFI truck right there. Come on, driver. You're getting ready to merge in. You should be going a lot faster than this. I shouldn't be catching you with a loaded trailer. That's scary. That's scary what we have to deal with out here. I mean, I've been in this situation plenty of times where I like saw something I wasn't expecting, wasn't familiar with. We just gotta go. Who are you?
In about 9 miles, take exit 25A onto I-55 North and I-70 East towards Chicago.
S&D Global. I know we all get in situations where we're not sure which way we're going, or the GPS is saying one thing and we were thinking something else. But he had plenty of options to like pull over, pull off, or do something other than stay right in the middle of the lane going 5 miles an hour for that long. So yeah, I think it's confirmed. Dubuque, I think that's how you pronounce it, Iowa. That's where these things are going. The receiver in Savannah, Illinois said, do not deliver these to us. Take them to Dubuque, and the broker said the same thing. So that's where I'm going. If I get there and I find out it's supposed to be the other one, I'm going to be real pissed. So, and that lawsuit with CFI, it was not. Like, I think I made a mistake not getting the police involved. However, there was multiple witnesses, and I got a statement from one of them. That was the first one. I wasn't even there. I was in the shower when it happened. So, thankfully, there was other drivers there. There wasn't many. That's what made it even worse. It was like a wide open parking lot, and somehow he made contact and got stuck on the back of my trailer. So that's what that the driver that witnessed it, I don't think he actually saw it happen, but he heard the contact happen, and then he looked and he saw the driver trying to get unstuck from my trailer, and so he went and stopped him, and they left her right there. And that's what I found whenever I got out of the shower and walked out. I just see this CFI trailer sitting on top of the back corner of my step deck. But yeah, they drug their feet because that driver, I mean, he wasn't a U.S. citizen, I don't believe, because CFI was able to delay the lawsuit by saying that he was part of the lawsuit, he was one of the parties involved. Nobody could find that driver. Well, they used that to their advantage. I was like, that driver, he's been out of the country. Like, he was probably gone the day after that accident happened. But they were able to hold things up and delay things. I don't know. I was just thankful to find some attorneys that actually worked in favor of truck drivers. The attorney I initially hired was out of Florida, and so I wasn't suing them for the damages to the trailer because they paid for that. I mean, there was no way around that. In fact, I ended up just I turned that portion of it over to my insurance company, and I said, y'all collect the money from these people, they're being idiots. And so I gave them all the evidence, pictures, statements, and everything. I wish I had a police officer come out there, but I just felt like I was wasting their time because no one was injured. It was in a parking lot. So kind of the whole seatbelt thing where people argue that you shouldn't have to wear a seatbelt, it only affects you. You know, if you fly through the windshield, well, it takes up time from the emergency responders when they could be saving someone else's life. So I don't like to waste law enforcement officers' time. More often than not, it's them wasting our time. Whatever they settle on, it's going to be bigger than what they would have paid, because I was trying to open up talks with them right after it happened, and the guy was just talking complete garbage and nonsense. Like, he wanted to try to pay me, he wanted to try to cover my profits, like my lost profit. I was like, dude, I've got all these fixed expenses, you got to cover my lost revenue, like, and then I can take that money and then I can pay all my expenses and I'll be left with a profit after that. But they're just playing stupid, and I mean, I guess that's what they get paid for, is to try to do whatever is in the best interest of the mega carrier. If they would have been like somewhat reasonable, they could have settled with me, no attorneys involved, for far less, because at the time I was trying to discuss it, it was only like I was 8 days in, if I remember correctly. And well, this drug on for a long time, because that was during the pandemic. There was material shortages, and people were getting paid to sit at the house. So dealing with my trailer's manufacturers in Kansas, and they could not come up with, or they didn't want to allocate aluminum to my job. I guess whatever aluminum they could put their hands
Use the right
on.
lane to take exit 25A onto I-55 North and I-70 East.
They wanted it going to new trailers, so it took forever. This might be the closest I've ever been to a shipper or receiver, or either one, without actually staying on their property. We're only like 2 miles away. We're up at this Quick Star in Dubuque. Should be pretty quick unload. I still got my fingers crossed this is the right location, because I didn't talk to these people since all the confusion happened. But I know the guy in Illinois just said, do not bring that freight over here. So busy morning for him. Kind of the opposite of the way you're supposed to go. That's going to be kind of tight, actually.
Take a slight left turn, then take the first right onto Airborne Road.
Oh, yeah, right. I got about 8 extra inches there. Oh. Sorry, Taker. I thought you were coming this way. I was trying to get out of your way. Like, this is going to be a tight squeeze for all these trucks to come through. I mean, I would have drove through the fuel islands if they weren't all full. But
Turn right onto Airborne Road.
Even being smaller, I like these little quick trips. And
At the
quick
stop sign, turn left
starters,
onto Silicone
whatever.
Road.
They got pretty good people working, and they seem to keep them, most of them clean, ones I've been to. And I think I'm gonna have to get some new, at least 4 new drives.
1 mile, turn right onto Chabanel Road.
I don't know if it was from being really light and I've done quite a bit of deadhead recently, and I've had some really light loads, but I've got some cupping on my four of my drives, and I don't even know if rotating them will do any good. I think I'm just going to replace those. And I talked to one driver, he was telling me I should switch over to the 11R 24.5s from the Low Pro 24.5s. I mean, this truck was originally spec'd with 11R 24.5s. I don't know if you can mix and match. I know there'd be a diameter difference there. And if all of them were on one axle, would that be okay? I just put brand new steers, the Low Pro version. I don't know. Side blocked off, hopefully. That's where I'm trying to go. Oh no. I'm trying to turn onto that road. I thought that. That's where there's no flagger out here. I guess they just have that side saying road closed. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get back out to the main highway.
Turn right onto Chabanel Road. Half a mile, turn right. Arrive at your destination. Arrived.
quick one. I love doing these utility company loads. I don't think I've ever delivered to a utility company where it went too bad. They all seem to have pretty good people. And even down, like this was one of the cheaper ones I've done recently, is like $3.50 a mile. The diesel ended up, I got almost 7 miles per gallon on the way up here. So ended up spending 72 cents per mile on diesel. And actually I spent a little less than that because that doesn't include my discount. And that also includes the IFTA fuel tax. So somewhere just below 72 cents a mile on diesel fuel. I made some money. Now if I add in whatever I'm about to spend on tires, maybe not. But you can't really put those kind of expenses onto one or two loads, you know. You gotta, like these drop tires, I've had them for 3 years. I've had one time I had to patch one of them, but other than that I hadn't had any issues with them. So it's not too bad. And since I've got, like, I can just feel the truck kind of bouncing as I'm driving, and I did not feel that when I, you know, got a new set of steers a couple months ago. So I don't want to put off the drop tires and have that start some weird wear pattern in the steers. I'm probably just going to throw 4 drop tires on, leave the 4 that don't have that cupping pattern on the outside. Or actually, it might be on the inside.
Turn right onto Chavanel Road.
So if you're a tire expert, let me know what causes that kind of, I mean, all 4 of them, I believe it's on all 4 of the inner ones have it on the insides of them. I think it's just from being too light and not getting enough weight up onto my drop tires.
In 1.7 miles, turn right onto Northwest Arterial.
But I hauled 2 loads not too long ago that were less than 8,000 pounds. It's pretty hard to get weight on them whenever you're not even hauling anything. And then I've had 2 times where I had really long deadheads, over 1,000 miles per deadhead. So I think semi-truck tires are designed to be loaded. I don't really like to be too light, but I could be wrong. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care.